Building your own home. I mean, that's the ultimate dream, isn't it? You get the perfect design, the right materials, a space that is 100% yours. But what if I told you that dream has a hidden nightmare lurking just beneath the surface? A nightmare that could absolutely drain your bank account and your peace of mind. Let's uncover the traps most people never ever see coming. All right, let's kick things off with the shocking truth from the experts at House Yoke. Get this, a staggering 10 to 25% of your total budget could just disappear. Poof, gone. On costs you probably never even knew existed. So what does that actually look like in real money? Well, on a pretty typical 30 lakh rupee home, that's over 7.5 lakh rupees vanishing from your budget. Gone, just like that. That is a terrifying number, I know. But where does all that money actually go? Today, we're going to expose every single one of these hidden traps, from legal landmines to silent destroyers, so your dream home doesn't turn into a total financial nightmare. Okay, the first trap isn't about money. Not directly anyway. It's bureaucratic. It's a complex and frankly dangerous maze of municipal regulations that most first-time homebuilders walk into completely blind. It all starts with 3 letters you absolutely have to know: FSI, or Floor Space Index. Think of it as the city's official rulebook for how much you can build. It's a simple ratio based on your plot size, and it dictates the absolute maximum area you are legally allowed to construct. It literally controls the size and shape of your dream house before you even lay a single brick. So what happens if you just ignore these rules? You might think it's just a small fine, right? Wrong. The consequences are severe. In Bengaluru, if you deviate by more than 5%, demolition is mandatory. In Mumbai, you get hit with massive fines and a stop work notice. We're not talking about a slap on the wrist here. We are talking about bulldozers at your door. And don't for a second think you can fight it. The Supreme Court of India has been crystal clear on this. Violating these building laws isn't just a private issue. The court sees it as a risk to public welfare. And that is exactly why they consistently uphold demolition orders. So let's say you've navigated the legal maze. Great. But now you're facing an even bigger threat: the financial money pit. These are all the costs that your contractor's quote conveniently forgets to mention. You think your contractor's quote covers everything? Think again. Temporary electricity and water connections? That's on you. Clearing the site and hauling away all the debris? Yeah, that's your cost too. Even the 5 to 10% of materials that just get wasted can add up to a lakh. But wait, here's the big one. The quote for the building's structure often doesn't include the modular kitchen, the wardrobes, or crucial protective treatments. Each of those is a separate, massive expense. You know, looking at your budget this way really shows you the problem. You plan for the main construction, the civil work, and the finishing touches. But it's this third slice, this big gray area of hidden costs and overruns, that is the most dangerous. That's the part of the budget that stalls projects and turns dreams into total disasters. So how do you protect yourself? You need a shield. And that shield is a 10% contingency fund. Seriously, this isn't just a friendly suggestion. It is the single most important buffer you must have. It guards you against unexpected soil problems, design changes, price hikes, you name it. But you know, the threats aren't just financial. Even if you get the budget and the rules right, your brand new home is facing silent, destructive invaders that can ruin it from the inside out. Just think about it for a second. After all that work, what's the one thing that can cause the most damage? It's probably not what you're thinking. The 2 biggest threats are silent, they're relentless, and they are incredibly common in India. First up, water seepage. This is an absolute nightmare, especially in cities like Bangalore with those heavy monsoons. A tiny hidden pipe leak can slowly send moisture creeping through your walls. It destroys the paint, weakens the structure, and creates nasty, harmful mold. You won't even see it until the damage is already done. And second, termites. No, these aren't just a problem for old houses. Subterranean termites live in the soil, and they can get into your new home through microscopic cracks in the foundation. They are relentless foundation eaters that can cause lakhs in structural damage before you ever see a single one. But here's the twist. There is a modern solution, and you only get one chance to install it. It's called an anti-termite reticulation system. It's basically a network of pipes laid inside the foundation before you pour the concrete. It creates a chemical shield under your house that you can easily recharge every few years without any drilling or damage. It's a small investment before you build that prevents a massive disaster later. We've covered rules, money, and pests. But the final trap? Well, it's the most unpredictable one of all, the human factor. The problems that come from dealing with contractors, your own family, and even your new neighbors. Have you ever heard someone say this? "Oh, you only build a house once?" It sounds so harmless, but it's a psychological trap. It's the excuse we use to justify constant upgrades, a slightly better tile here, a fancier switch there. This kind of thinking is the #1 cause of budget creep that can add lakhs to your final bill. So here's what you need to lock down. First, avoid that spending trap. Second, you have to resist changing the plan after the work starts. Every single change order causes delays and huge cost overruns. And finally, don't forget your neighbors. Disputes over dust, noise, or property lines can lead to legal orders that stop your project for months. It really sounds like a battlefield, doesn't it? But you can take control. This final section is your survival kit, a clear, actionable plan to navigate these traps and actually protect your dream. Here it is, your 5 essential rules. #1, create that 10-15% contingency fund. It's non-negotiable. 2, hire licensed professionals, an architect and an engineer, not just a contractor. 3, freeze the design before a single shovel hits the ground. 4, insist on those critical pre-construction treatments for waterproofing and termites. And finally, #5, have a friendly chat with your neighbors before you start digging. This checklist is your best defense. So, building a home in India isn't just a project, it's a battle. A battle against hidden costs, invisible rules, and silent invaders. The real question is, now that you know what's lurking in the shadows, are you truly prepared?